What's up, boys and girls, and welcome to the first ever episode of GameZone's free-to-play game Spotlight, where we'll be checking out the latest free-to-play games and showing you what they're all about. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the game Hawken, which is a giant robot mech-based FPS, from which you have deathmatch, team deathmatch, capture and hold / domination, and lastly the strange game mode, which is known as collect energy to power your battleship, then you must defend it while it moves to destroy their base. So then, first up, we're going to be taking a look at some of the gameplay, then we shall move on to the customization. Gameplay wise, you've got your standard WASD to move, and you use your mouse to aim and shoot. You can sprint with the shift key and dash while double tapping left or right. You can also fly and jump. You can jump just by pressing spacebar, and you can hover by holding down the spacebar. Now, one thing to note that is nice is the HUD. As you can see, all of the information is located on little panels within your mech. And it's pretty crazy, and I really like this touch. Now, you can change the colors via the options menu, and additionally you can change the FOV, and that is one thing you definitely need to change straight away with this game. Overall, the controls are very responsive, especially enough to dodge incoming missiles, grenades, all sorts of horrible things that will kill you and make you explode. So what about combat, you ask? Now, you've got a few weapons available to you. Your primary weapon can be a machine gun, a minigun, flat cannon, which is a giant shotgun, or even a long range rifle. Now, for your secondaries, they get a bit more better. Rocket launchers, grenade launchers, missile pods that shoot like 1200 missiles at once, homing missiles known as seeker missiles, or even a giant railgun. Now, you also have equipment that you can choose from, and some equipment can either be the shield generator, healing beacon, or even a portable radar jammer. But if you want a more offensive equipment, you can have grenades or sentry turrets that shoot either machine guns or rockets. There are a few other things, but I just want to just give you a quick overview of what you can and can't really do. Now, the last thing to mention would be that each mech has a special ability. For example, the Brawler can transform into a turret, but it's not really that good. The Infiltrator can stealth, which is quite useful. The Berserker can remove all heat buildup, because as you fire, the heat builds up because you have infinite ammo, so you can shoot forever and ever, but when your weapon overheats, you can't shoot no more. And the Berserker can actually remove all heat buildup, so you can actually fire for even longer with that particular mech. It's actually pretty badass. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the customization options available for you within the game. So on the left hand screen you can see My Mechs, and this is actually the Mech Shop where you can purchase more. Under My Mechs I have two of the free to play mechs of this current week, in addition to the default one you start off with, which I have so named as Dave. Dave is my giant CRT monitor. You see a lot of the beginners in this, including myself. You can change your weapon, but only once you reach level 7. Now, each mech levels individually, so if you play more with one, he will be higher level than the rest. Level does dictate damage, because as you level, you earn talent points, and you don't have to respec or anything currently. You can just put them in as you want. So you got the offensive tree, increased damage, rate of fire, defensive tree for dodging and all sorts of decreasement of damage, and movement to make you move faster or have more fuel, because you use fuel as you fly / hover and sprint basically. So then what I can change is my offensive item. I could buy HE charge, which is a grenade, a turret, a machine gun turret, or an EMP, which is really overpowered, so guys, don't buy the EMP, people will rage at you. Now, for your defensive item, you can have a shield. As I said, shield, repair charge, you can pretty much get anything you want. And you got your countermeasure. Now, one thing about the countermeasure is, it's one thing I don't like about the game, is it only has 16 uses, okay? Now, the extinguisher will automatically cool down systems when they overheat. Now, this thing isn't automatically enabled. Once you're in the game, you enable it before you spawn, and it will cost you credits to restock. So it's 107 Hawken credits. Now, you get Hawken credits just for playing the game, so when you win, you will generally get 120 to 150 credits. So as you can see there, one use of a countermeasure is 100 credits, which is basically a win. That's pretty lame. Now, the internal things are basically the extra items. Think of them as gems, or just type that like gems or buffs. That basically they come with positive but normally have a negative. For example, fire faster but do less damage, all sorts of things like that. Now, you have your upgrades, which is basically as you level. So as my mech levels all the way to the max level currently, that is 25, I gain sprint, optimization points, unlock more gear, Now this is what we're going to be talking about now, is the skins. Now you can customize your mech in all sorts of ways, okay? And to buy these is you need these meteor points, which cost 200. This one costs 288. Now there are a few different ones. For example, we can get different arms, and they're all different for each different mech. Or right here is the repairer. You can repair in-game, in combat, whenever you want. You just hold down the C button and he will fly around giving you health, but you're very, very vulnerable. Okay? So basically this is just a skin. It's just your boring customization stuff for the free-to-play game to make money. That's basically what it is. But if you like that, go ahead, man. Now as you can see, I've got a pink trim. Now you can actually have for real skins, but yet again, they cost money. There is no way to earn Hawken points. Well, there's no way to earn meteor points any other way than to obviously, you know, buy them. So let's go take a look at the price of how much Hawken points actually cost. Now let me just show you one last thing, which is to buy a new mech. So if we go to the Mech Shop and say I wanted to buy the Bruiser. To purchase this mech, it would cost me 6,410 Hawken points. Now I earn about 100 to 150, and you guys can do the math that it would be a few games of playing with either the free-to-play one, which I don't know if the levels keep. I assume they do. I assume you keep the level, so when you do buy it, it's already leveled. I'm not sure, but whatever the case, as you can see, the mechs do look pretty awesome, and there's a nice amount of customization, even for a game that's in open beta. So let's go ahead and take a look at how much the paid currency actually costs you. So as you can see, 5 euros is about 900 points, and that will buy you a mech. 10 euros is about 1800 points, and that will buy you a mech and maybe a skin. Or if you wanted to buy like some equipment, unlock that fast, you could do that too. Basically, it's just your standard how you can do things. It's quite standard now for free-to-play games to offer a quick route and also give everyone else a slow route. But it's a shame that currently in the open beta you cannot earn skins or the custom paint jobs, like the custom arms, legs, bodies, heads, and the actual paint jobs such as checkered or tiger paint. You can't earn that without purchasing currency. So it's not too bad, it's not too great, it's just how the free-to-play rolls, man. It's how it rolls. So I thought I'm going to round up this video now and just give you my final thoughts and personal opinion of what I think about Hawken. Hawken is a fun game. The good is that it's a fun game, it's giant mechs, giant rockets, you have all sorts of nice shooty things that really make you feel like you're powering a giant robot. Now the bad, this is my personal opinion, remember, so it's not like an official review, it's just how I felt the game played and maybe its future. First things first, when you first start playing, you're going to notice that you're going to be playing against players who have not only been playing longer, that's not a problem, because if you got to play against the good to get better, yeah? But they're going to have gear, items, talents, all sorts of things that will be out of your league because you won't be able to afford them with the free currency, or if you want you can go buy them, but you won't have all these little upgrades. So a level 15 mech who's put talent points everywhere and has upgraded various parts will kill you in a 1v1 fight no matter how good you are. Yeah, I know, blah blah blah, you can dodge stuff, blah. But if he's a competent player just like yourself, he will kill you just because that's how it works. It's numbers at the end of the day. You can dodge all you want, but at the end of the day it's numbers. Also, most low level fights are dictated to who can hit each other with a rocket launcher first. If you hit them with a rocket launcher, you've won the fight. I don't understand. It's not as fun as I would like it to be. It just feels like a poorly balanced first person shooter that's very clunky because you're in a mech. You don't have that fluidity. You don't have that like, oh, I jump over this, I jump over that. There's no Call of Duty arcade in there, and there's no Counter-Strike serious shooting managing recoil because your machine gun doesn't have any recoil. You just go like this. Shoot a missile. If I hit him with one, that's all you do. Watch the overheat level. Also, flying around takes up too much fuel. You can't sprint forever. I know sprinting forever is a bit annoying in some games, but I like it in Battlefield because the maps are quite big, and I'd say most of the Hawken maps are medium to big. That's how it is. The game modes are fun. The battleship mode is a bit silly, but you know, they can work on it. This is an open beta, so everything I have expressed as my personal opinion can be fixed. Balancing, for example, the EMP, that is just stupidly overpowered. You hit someone with it and their mech will be locked out for basically forever. and you can't do anything. EMPs in most games, like saying Call of Duty, EMP removes your sights if they're powered by electricity, for example. In this, your mech completely shuts down. You can't shoot, you can't aim. I don't even know if you can move, I can't remember. But whatever the case, it's just how it is. Also, a lot of fights will involve people running away. Yeah, you don't regen health, but you can regen it manually just by holding down a button, and a robot comes out and repairs you. So you can be getting a good jump on someone and he'll just sprint away, and that'll be that. Also, the last thing I want to bring up before this video gets a bit too long is there are no multipliers for damage that I can see. You shoot someone in the head, they don't have a head. You shoot someone here, you shoot someone there, it just does damage. Now in like Call of Duty, Battlefield, CS, there are multipliers for where you hit them on the body. Hit them in the head, you're going to do a lot of damage. Hit them in the chest, you're going to do some damage. Hit them in the leg, you're not going to do as much damage. It all depends on the gun, of course. In Hawken, there are no multipliers, so you can't get like a really good kill streak coming up. The only way you can get a good kill streak is if you're playing against players who are worse than you. And that just, quite frankly, isn't as fun. You want to be challenged, not just, it's just how it is. Other than that, remember that this is my personal opinion, and I hope you've listened this far. If you have, please expect more, and I mean more MMOs and free-to-play games. Anything that's free-to-play, I'm going to be doing, hopefully a video a week. So then, this was the first episode of GameZone's weekly free-to-play game Spotlight. Remember that you can go on www.gamezone.com to check out the latest news, reviews, previews, trailers, basically everything that is gaming. My name has been Thomas Adams, and I will see you guys on the next video.